Ladies and gentlemen, love, in its truest essence, is not something to be chased after in the outside world. It is not a reward waiting to be earned through the approval of another person, nor is it a possession to be claimed. To believe that another must first arrive before you can feel complete is to live in an illusion that keeps you searching endlessly. The seed of love lies within, quietly waiting to be nourished, waiting for you to awaken to its presence. When you recognize that love is not external but internal, you begin to discover an unshakable power, a presence that cannot be taken from you regardless of who comes or goes in your life. So many people live as though love is an absence, a void that needs to be filled by another's attention or affection. They carry this emptiness like a shadow, believing that once the right person enters, happiness will finally unfold. Yet what happens when that person leaves, when they change, or when expectations are not met? The cycle of dependence and disappointment continues. To break free, one must turn inward and realize that the essence of love is not something to be sought, but something to be expressed from within. When you begin to cultivate love inside yourself, you stop living as someone in lack. You stop sending out a signal of neediness or incompleteness. Instead, you radiate fullness, wholeness, and authenticity. Others can sense this energy, even without words. A person who has cultivated inner love moves differently, speaks differently, and carries a presence that is both calming and magnetic. This is because they no longer seek validation, but live as the embodiment of the very thing they once searched for. To feel love inside is to train your heart and mind to recognize the beauty of life as it is right now. Each breath, each moment, each experience becomes a gift. Gratitude grows naturally when you stop searching outside and start realizing the miracle of being alive. In that gratitude, a soft warmth fills the heart, and this warmth is what becomes the foundation of love. Love, then, is not dependent on a person, but it becomes the natural state of your being. This does not mean that relationships lose their value. On the contrary, when you are already full of love, relationships transform. They become places to share joy, not to extract it. You no longer approach others with the silent demand to complete you, but instead you meet them as an equal, whole being. The bond deepens, not out of need, but out of the overflow of what you already carry within. To live in this way requires practice. Each morning, rather than waiting for love to appear, take a moment to feel it rising in your own heart. Place your attention there, breathe deeply, and allow yourself to feel worthy, whole, and connected to life. Over time, this practice rewires the mind, softens the heart, and changes the energy you emit. You begin to live not as someone waiting to receive love, but as someone who is love. And when you live as love, it naturally flows back to you in ways more powerful and unexpected than you could ever plan. Every thought you think is not silent. Though your mind may whisper within, each thought is energy, and every emotion that follows it creates a vibration that extends far beyond your body. Science shows that the heart radiates an electromagnetic field that reaches several feet beyond you, influencing not only your own state, but the environment around you. This means that your inner world is never hidden. Whatever you consistently feel, whether joy, love, gratitude, or fear, doubt, and lack, becomes the signal you send out into the field of life. And life, without judgment, responds by bringing back experiences that resonate with that signal. When you wake each morning and step into your day, you are broadcasting. If your thoughts are filled with stories of rejection, loneliness, or not being enough, then the signal you carry is one of emptiness and longing. This frequency attracts circumstances and people that mirror those states back to you, not as punishment, but simply as resonance. The universe reflects the music you are playing. If your melody is tuned to pain, then the dance partners who show up will match that rhythm. But the extraordinary truth is that you hold the power to change the song. When you choose consciously to think new thoughts and cultivate new emotions, you shift the frequency of your energy field. Gratitude, compassion, joy, and love are not just abstract feelings. They are vibrational states that expand the heart field. When you live in them, even for a few moments each day, your body begins to harmonize with those elevated states. The signal you send becomes brighter, clearer, and stronger. Others who are attuned to that same vibration will naturally be drawn into your life, and situations that match it will unfold. It is important to understand that this is not about pretending or forcing positivity. A forced smile cannot fool the body, for the body responds only to sincerity. It is about practicing a genuine shift within, by learning to place your attention on emotions that uplift rather than diminish. This takes awareness. At first, you may notice how often the mind slips back into old patterns, replaying past hurts, anticipating future fears. Each time you become aware of this, you are given a choice to continue broadcasting the old frequency or to pause, breathe, and choose a new one. The practice of radiating love begins with small acts of inner attention. Close your eyes and imagine someone or something you deeply appreciate. Feel the warmth rise in your chest. Let it expand, filling your entire body. In that moment, you are broadcasting gratitude. Do the same with compassion, with joy, with the feeling of being whole. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes. Soon, your signal is no longer determined by old wounds, but by the state you consciously cultivate. Life listens, people listen, energy listens, and when the signal you carry is love, you find that love returns to you, often in ways you never could have predicted. The weight of the past can be subtle, yet it shapes the way you walk through life more than you realize. Memories of heartbreak, rejection, or betrayal do not just remain as stories in the mind. They embed themselves into the body as emotional patterns. Each time you recall a painful moment, your body relives it as though it is happening again. The heart tightens, the breath shortens, and chemicals of stress flood the system. Slowly, this becomes familiar. The past is no longer just behind you. It becomes the state you live in, unconsciously recreating itself day after day. When this happens, the future cannot truly be new. You meet new people with the same guarded heart. You step into opportunities with the same doubts. You try to love, but suspicion and fear whisper louder than possibility. In this way, the past quietly dictates what you believe is possible. To attract love, to welcome joy, you must first loosen the grip of what has been. It is not about forgetting, but about refusing to let old wounds define the energy you carry into each new moment. The human mind is powerful, but it is also habitual. It clings to what it knows, even if what it knows is pain. The story of I was abandoned, or I am not worthy of love, plays on repeat until it feels like truth. But it is not truth, it is memory. Memory is only electrical and chemical patterns in the brain reinforced through repetition. And because you are not your thoughts, you are not bound to them. The moment you become aware of the story, you gain the power to stop it. Breaking free begins with awareness. Each time you catch yourself dwelling on what someone did to you, notice the feeling that arises. Do not judge it, do not resist it, simply witness. By becoming aware, you step out of the automatic program of the past. In that space of awareness, you create a gap, and within that gap lies freedom. The freedom to choose a different response, to focus on something new, to breathe and redirect your attention. From there, the work is to create a new emotional memory. Instead of feeding the pain of the past, you nourish the possibility of the future. Close your eyes and imagine what it feels like to be free, to be whole, to be deeply loved. At first, it may feel unfamiliar, even uncomfortable, because the body is used to the chemistry of hurt. But with practice, the unfamiliar becomes familiar. The old emotional patterns lose their hold, and the body learns a new state of being. Releasing the past does not mean erasing it. It means transforming your relationship with it. You look back and no longer feel chains, but wisdom. You recognize the lessons without reliving the wounds, and in that freedom your energy changes. The signal you broadcast is no longer shaped by fear or loss, but by openness and readiness for love. Only when you stop carrying the past into the present do you create space for something truly new to arrive. To change your life, you must change your state of being. The patterns of the mind and body are deeply ingrained, but they are not permanent. They are habits formed through repetition, and just as they were created, they can be rewired. Every day, you are given the opportunity to teach yourself how to feel differently, to think differently, to live differently. The practice begins not with action in the outer world, but with training the inner one. When you wake in the morning, the mind often rushes to the same thoughts as the day before. Worries, responsibilities, regrets, or longings. These thoughts quickly spark emotions, and before you even leave your bed, your body is already reliving yesterday. This cycle traps you in the familiar, preventing true change. To break it, you must intervene. You must interrupt the automatic loop and consciously create a new emotional state. This is where practice becomes essential. Close your eyes, breathe deeply, and shift your focus from the external world to the inner. Place your attention on the heart, the center of feeling, and imagine what it would be like if love were already present in your life. Not as a fantasy that you wish to happen, but as a reality that already exists within you. Feel the warmth of being cared for, the joy of connection, the sense of belonging. Allow your body to bathe in those emotions, even if no one else is there to provide them. At first, the mind may resist. It may say, "This is not real, you are only imagining." But the truth is, the body cannot distinguish between an experience that happens physically and one that is deeply imagined with emotion. The brain begins to fire in new patterns, as though the experience is real. The body produces the same chemicals, and slowly, you are teaching your nervous system a new way of being. Each time you practice, the new pattern grows stronger. This is not a one-time act. It is a discipline, a choice you make again and again until it becomes natural. Over time, you stop waiting for love to appear from outside sources. You stop needing another person to activate that feeling within you. Instead, you wake up each day already full, already whole, already radiating the energy of love. And when you live in this way, your outer world inevitably begins to reflect it back to you. The beauty of this practice is that it places the power back into your hands. You are no longer dependent on chance, no longer bound by the past, no longer at the mercy of circumstances. You become the creator of your state of being, and from this inner transformation, the external follows. Love, opportunities, and relationships naturally align with the vibration you consistently embody. To practice a new state of being is to take responsibility for the energy you carry. It is to stop rehearsing the old story and begin rehearsing the future you desire. Through repetition, sincerity, and patience, you become the living example of the love you once thought you had to find elsewhere. There is a great shift that happens when you stop searching outward and begin radiating inward. For most of life, people are taught to chase love, to look for it in the eyes of another, to measure their worth by how much affection they receive. This chasing creates an energy of lack, a frequency of desperation, and others feel it even if nothing is spoken. But the truth is, what you are seeking is already within you. The moment you embody the qualities you long for, joy, care, compassion, connection. You begin to live as the vibration of love itself. To become the vibration of love is not about forcing yourself to be cheerful or pretending to be something you are not. It is about cultivating a genuine state that arises from within, a state that is steady and independent of outside conditions. When you stand in that place, you stop waiting. You stop needing someone else to complete the picture. Instead, you overflow, and that overflow naturally draws others toward you. It is not effortful, it is magnetic. Think of it as a fire. A person who embodies love is like a flame glowing steadily in the dark. They do not run around trying to convince others of their warmth. They simply burn, and those who seek light are drawn to them. In the same way, when you radiate love, people sense it. They feel at ease in your presence, they feel uplifted, and they cannot always explain why. It is not in your words, but in your energy. The challenge is that most people are used to giving off the opposite signal. They radiate fear of rejection, doubt about their worth, or anxiety about the future. Without realizing, they push away the very love they long for. To reverse this, you must shift your inner frequency deliberately. Begin by noticing when your energy contracts, when you feel needy, jealous, or unworthy. Do not fight these states, but see them clearly. Awareness itself begins to dissolve their power. From that place, you can consciously choose to open the heart again, to breathe deeply, and to reconnect with gratitude for what already is. Every time you practice this, the vibration of love grows stronger. You begin to notice small things differently: the smile of a stranger, the beauty in a quiet morning, the simple joy of being alive. These moments feed the heart, and the more you notice them, the more abundant love feels. Suddenly, you are no longer searching, because you realize love has been present all along. And from this abundance, the right people and situations appear, not because you chased them, but because you became aligned with them. To become the vibration of love is to embody freedom. You are no longer waiting for someone else to validate you. You no longer fear being alone because you are already whole. Love flows from you, and because energy is reciprocal, it flows back to you. What once felt like a desperate search becomes a natural unfolding. Love is not something to find, it is something to live. The energy you carry is the lens through which life responds to you. If you wake each day carrying the vibration of fear, doubt, or lack, then everything you encounter will reflect those same qualities. It is not that life is against you, it is simply that life mirrors you. To change what comes into your world, you must first shift the energy you send out. This is the essence of transformation. When you change your energy, you change your life. Often people believe that love, happiness, and abundance are things to be earned through effort, luck, or the actions of others. They wait for circumstances to align before allowing themselves to feel whole. Yet this waiting keeps them in a cycle of longing. True change begins when you stop postponing the feeling and begin living it now. You no longer wait for love to arrive before feeling loved. You feel loved within, and then love appears naturally in your external world. This shift requires courage, because it asks you to step away from the familiar. The old stories of unworthiness, the repeated memories of hurt, the patterns of fear, they may feel safe simply because they are known. To embrace a new energy is to enter the unknown, and the unknown can feel uncomfortable. But it is within that discomfort that true growth happens. The moment you release the old frequency, you create space for something new to flow in. Changing your energy does not mean denying pain or pretending everything is perfect. It means becoming aware of the states you dwell in and making a conscious choice to elevate them. Through meditation, visualization, breath, or stillness, You can practice aligning with higher emotions, gratitude, compassion, joy, and love. Each time you do, you train your body and mind to sustain a different vibration. And as this becomes your natural state, your life begins to reorganize itself around it. Relationships begin to shift. People who resonate with your old energy may drift away, while those aligned with your new frequency are drawn closer. Opportunities appear that match the vibration you hold. Even challenges feel different, for you no longer approach them with fear, but with calmness and clarity. The external world is a reflection of your inner state, and when that inner state is rooted in love and wholeness, life cannot help but mirror it back. To change your energy is to reclaim your power. You stop waiting for conditions to dictate how you feel. You stop letting the past control your present. Instead, you live as the creator of your reality, directing your focus and emotions with intention. This is not a theory but a lived practice, one that shapes the way you walk, speak, and connect with others. Love comes quickly to those who live as love. The moment you embody the energy of wholeness, the search ends and the experience begins. Life meets you where you are, and when you radiate love, life responds in kind.